Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show tonight. Can everybody see me and hear me? How we looking? All right. Beautiful. Looks good on my end. Looks good on other people's ends. So, let's go ahead and get underway here in a moment. Welcome aboard. We've got some stuff to talk about after that one. There's some stuff that needs to be said after what happened today on the football field. So, we're going to give people another minute or so to gather up, and then we're going to dive into it. Yep, Seahawks are sitting pretty right now. Now, I don't know how long that's going to stand, but genuinely the Niners look like they've come back to earth a little bit. The Niners genuinely look like they're headed in a bad direction here. I would not hate the Bears scoring a touchdown here, by the way. If the Bears score a touchdown, that's going to force Herbert to keep throwing, which I need for fantasy purposes. Trick play. Oh boy, this is not going to work. Well, they got a couple yards. I thought the Niners played Jacksonville next week. They're on the bye week? Okay. So that's unfortunately probably going to give them a little bit of extra time to get together. And they'll probably get their players back. Jacksonville's good, though. I feel like Jacksonville is a team that could... Ooh, touchdown Bears. Very nice. Here's the thing, though. Debo gets hurt a lot because of the way he plays. It's not like he never gets hurt. He gets hurt a lot. R. Sanchez, thank you for the member message. Member for 12 months. All I see now are bad ref calls everywhere. It was bad today. It was bad. It was awful. Oh, Jaguars on bye. That's fair, I guess. All right, so we got almost 100 people in here, so let's get into it a little bit. Seahawks win today, 24-20, a game where they had to go down and hit a game-winning touchdown drive with less than 2 minutes to go. A game where they came out blazing fast, put up 17 quick points, and it looked like things were just going to be easy. And then everything shut down. Offense, defense, big mistakes on both sides of the ball that led to this game looking like it was a lost cause for a little bit in the fourth quarter. But they pulled it out, and it's a tough game to talk about because I don't feel like anybody on the team played terrible or really bad, but I also don't think anybody on the team outside of maybe 4 or 5 guys played great. It was a bunch of guys who just played okay, and that was good enough. So, talking about this game is difficult because there are only a few guys you can shout out as saying, hey, that guy just played awesome. Lockett played awesome. I would say that Boye Mafe played awesome. I would say that maybe Jordan Brooks. I don't know about Brooks, but maybe. Myers and Dixon played awesome, and other than that, it's just a group of guys who played all right, you know? Geno Smith played all right. He had a couple of really bad mistakes in this game, although honestly, the interceptions should have come off the board. I think that the first interception was obviously Myles Garrett clearly lined up off sides. The second interception, that was I don't think he caught it. I have no idea why that didn't get reviewed. But there were a lot of 3-and-outs in this game by the Seattle offense, and at the end of the day, I have to put that on the quarterback by and large. So, wasn't in love with the game Geno played. He played okay. Look, you put up 24 points and you lead a game-winning touchdown drive against the number 1 defense in the league. I'm going to give you some credit. You did your job if that's what you did against the number 1 defense, but he did not go above and beyond. I don't know about Waldron in this game. I thought that Waldron got away from the run game way too quickly. I don't know about some of the play calls. I don't know about some of the scheme stuff. Like, I'm a little bit worried about Waldron at this point. Like, I don't understand it. I get that we can't run the ball as much as we want to because we have Stone Forsythe at right tackle, but Geno just needs a little bit of a safety blanket right now. He needs to just be able to turn around and hand the ball to a running back and basically sit a play out every now and then. And feels like we're starting to really get away from balance, and there's no need to. We were never down by more than 3 points in this game. I know running the ball wasn't great, although the yard per carry average is insanely good. It's because we had 3 long carries and pretty much everything else was just nothing. But you got to keep grinding on it sometimes, and I usually don't say that. But right now, with the offense in the state that it's in, with Geno playing the way that he's playing, you got to slow it down a little bit and give him some easy plays, just plays where he has to hand it off. Um, I think the offensive line played really well, but we are doing this thing where we're rotating linemen in and out that I don't get. Like, if somebody gets hurt, then okay. Like, Bradford should have been subbed out for a part of this game because he was so very obviously hurt. But the problem I have is we were rotating Jason Peters in for a few snaps just to rotate him in. And I'm looking at that and I'm going, why are we doing that? Let's let these guys build some cohesion and let's let these guys get some comfort together. So that I'm not a big fan of, but I do think the offensive line played pretty well, especially pass blocking. I mean, that's about as good as it's going to get against the Browns. There was some pressure, but of course there's going to be some pressure. Lockett, like I said, played awesome. JSN almost created an interception by not finishing his route. Geno almost got pick sixed on a play where JSN didn't finish the route. You had DK get targeted 14 times and come up with 5 catches, mostly because it seemed like Geno just couldn't hit him accurately. There were some plays where it looked like the ball got stuck in his hand funky. There were some plays where it just looked like he was trying to force it into a tight win. Like there was a lot of stuff going on those DK targets. Geno just could not square up on the DK throws. I don't know what it was. We didn't really target tight ends in this game hardly at all, which is disappointing. I don't know what's going on there. That's another thing that maybe that's Waldron, maybe that's Geno. I don't know. But a tight end made the biggest play of the game for the offense as far as I'm concerned. That Noah Fant catch and run, that was the moment when I felt like we were finally going to win. I didn't feel good about this game at all until that Noah Fant catch. So to me, that was probably the biggest play of the game. And that was one of 2 catches we had for tight ends in this game, period. So we ran some screenplays effectively, which was great to see. We don't see that all that often. So that's the offense. Again, it's just a bunch of nuance, right? There's some stuff that's good, some stuff that's bad. Other than Lockett and I guess Cross, it's hard to find guys who individually just whooped butt. Defensively, I wanted more. I'll be honest. This Browns team doesn't have their quarterback or their running backs, and they still were able to productively move the ball on us. I wanted more. I got some pretty good stuff. I got 3 sacks and I got 3 turnovers. But overall, I don't think the pass rush was all that good. Mafe was the only one who came to play in that regard, it felt like. We got a lot of pressure on Walker that was kind of designed because he was trying to get a screenplay off, which most of the time worked. Um, I don't think we did a great job stopping the run. You can see the loss of Nwosu really affected us. I do think that the Browns did a really good job putting together those screenplays. They called screens at the right time. You do have to give them credit there, but at the same time, it was kind of embarrassing that their offense looked so competent when they've got PJ Walker and a um, hobbled running back out there. Like Kareem Hunt was on the couch a month ago, and the other guy, Jerome Ford, he was playing through a pretty serious injury. So I thought the linebackers both played good, maybe even great, arguably. Woolen had an up and down game. The pick was nice. One of his penalties was crap, and I'm still mad about that one, by the way. That was an absolute garbage call. I think that Witherspoon played good. He didn't do anything over the top great, but he also didn't do anything bad. He was just kind of grinding out there. So I think that I would say that's good enough. Obviously, Jamal Adams made probably the biggest play of the game overall with the interception off his helmet, which was beautiful. Love it. Definitely want more of that. I uh I think Diggs is starting to play a little bit better. I think that Frank Clark looked pretty useless out there. I gotta say, if that's what we're gonna get from Frank Clark the rest of the season, we need to be in on the Chase Young and Montez Sweat trades this next 2 days because Frank Clark looked completely out of gas. And if that's what he's got, then we can't be relying on him at all. Oh, drop top. I think I'm going to do Choo Choo Charles because Snacks is not going to be there. I don't want to play something he wants to watch me play because I know he wants to watch me play Poppy Playtime Chapter 2, and he probably wants to watch me play the SpongeBob games. So I think I'm going to do Choo Choo Charles. Well, Chris, remember, Frank was on a team a few weeks ago. It's not like he's off the couch. It's not like Bruce Irvin when he came back last year. Bruce Irvin came off the couch. That's not the case here. Frank Clark was actually on a team until a few weeks ago. Now, the Browns do have a good offensive line, I will admit that, but I don't know. I didn't see much of anything from Clark. I saw he looks a little slow. He doesn't have much get off. Like, if that's what the Frank Clark, if that's what Frank Clark has to offer, I'm just saying we're going to have to do better. And honestly, all of our edge players except for Mafe are not good against the run right now. Um, Obviously, Taylor is not good against the run. Clark is not good against the run. He's never really been good against the run. And Hall is a rookie, so he's not going to be good against the run. So we have a little bit of a problem in that area. I don't know if we're going to be able to do much about it, to be perfectly honest. Touchdown Chargers. I don't have a problem with Hall, but I don't think he's ready for this role and responsibility. So we've got 36 hours basically to make a decision on a trade here. And it would not shock me if we're in on it because of that. Special teams were good. We had Eskridge had a good kick return. Dallas had a good punt return that got called back. And we made our field goals and extra points. Dixon had a good game punting. So special teams was good. And I guess that's really about all there is to say. So I'm going to go ahead and start opening it up to the chat here. So we got almost 200 people in here now. Thank you, everybody, for spending part of your evening with me. Please like the stream if you haven't already. We have 29 likes right now. So if you haven't already, please click the like button. If you're new to the channel, you can also subscribe. Click the sub button down below. I do daily Seahawks and weekly Huskies content on top of occasional Mariners and Sea Dragons content as well. So that's something you can expect if you hit the sub button. If you want to I'm now going to spend the next rest of the stream, basically until the end of Sunday Night Football, talking to as many people as possible, replying to as many comments in the chat as possible. Um, if you donate via super chat or tipping, it's guaranteed that I'll see your comment and reply to it and respond to it, etc., etc. Otherwise, I'm just going to reply to as many as I can in the chat. It's just going to depend on volume. So if you want to donate via super chat or tipping, click the link down in the description or click the $ in the chat. I have a Patreon you can pledge to. The link is in the description. You can become a channel member for $2, $5, or $15 a month. And I think that is about it. So let's just go ahead and get in here. Pretentious Cameron, thank you for the member message. Member for 22 months. At least our offense can run screens now. I did notice that. I did notice that. I did think that part of the reason why you bring in JSN and Charbonnet was to incorporate some of that, but early on it wasn't looking like we were any better at it. It seems like our offensive line personnel is shifting enough to where we have the guys who can do it. And I think Metcalf and Bobo being good blockers is a big on that as well. The truth is I know it. PJ is tough as nails. Yeah, I got to give him credit for that. He's not really fast, but he runs with power. Agreed, but not sure if Washington is a seller. They are a wild card contender even with their loss today. Well, the thing is, they know they're going to lose at least one of those guys at the end of the season, right? They can't keep both. Arguably, they can't keep either. So they might look at that and go, it's more important we get an asset for Chase Young now because we need a quarterback, unless they really like Sam Howell, and Sam Howell did play pretty good today. Hey, Carmine. How did Jason Peters do? I didn't notice anything too bad with him, but right tackle is not really his position. Right tackle is not his best position. He's a left tackle. I think he would be better at guard than right tackle, so I'm not convinced that we need to like push Curhan or Forsyth out of there. Honestly, Forsyth I think has played respectably for 2 straight games. Like, I haven't noticed him in a hugely negative way, so what am I going to do? Sit here and act like he's a problem? He's not. My problem with Waldron is he's calling pass plays on 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 2, use Charbonnet more. Yeah, I understand it because our interior offensive line is like the right side of our offensive line, which is typically the side you want to run against, is all beat up. I get it. I understand that. But I do think that if you're going to throw it, then don't run those plays. Like we had a 3rd and 1 play where we had 2 receivers running routes and everyone else was blocking. That's, I think, a problem. Don't you think the defense would give up some yards considering the offense couldn't sustain a drive that was tired? I mean, they were giving up points before the offense went into the tank. Like, they gave up points early in the game when the offense was actually doing a great job. We scored 17 points on our first 3 drives, and the defense was still actually a little bit of a problem. I mean, it wasn't awful, and the referees didn't help at all. But at the very least, you can say that they gave up a couple of touchdown drives when the offense was still doing fine. Putting Eskridge on the field is just bad juju for the team. Yeah, I mean, he did have a pretty good kick return, I guess, so maybe he can do that. I don't know why we don't let Dallas do it, though. Dallas is a good kick returner. And Power, thank you for the $10. Can we give some love to Charbonnet? Oh, there we go.
It is Wilson who gets there.
Now, kind of actually a little bit sad with the news of earlier this week. Can we give some love to Charbonnet? He was arguably the reason we won today. Love his hard-hitting, agile running style. Really nice compliment to K9. Reduces his work overload, too. Yeah, K9 and Charbonnet, we might need to balance that out a little bit more. Although I think we're starting to get the picture here. I think we have I actually think we have a pretty decent understanding of how to balance the offense. We just couldn't do it against the Bengals because Charbonnet must have been injured. Because he didn't play hardly at all, and he still ended up missing the next game. How can you miss a third of the season, get a penalty first play on special teams? I did notice that. I definitely noticed that. Stone looks decent at right tackle. Yeah, he's a good pass protector. Problem is, he really limits what you can do running the ball on the right side because he's not a good run blocker, but it is what it is. Did deja vu pass before your eyes when Jamal made that jarring helmet-to-helmet hit on their running back? I think it was in the third quarter. I don't think I noticed that, Upo. I'm not sure I remember that. Yeah, Tariq Island, I agree. Frank Clark doesn't need time. He's not the answer or solution. Time to go get someone more impactful. As of right now, I lean that way because it's a gamble. If you wait on Clark and then 2 weeks from now, you're like, oh, Clark's no good, we get him out of here, it's too late. You can't trade for anybody. And I really do think Chase Young or Montez Sweat, the price might only be a third-round pick because it's understood you're only trading for him for one half a season or barely over half a season. Hey, Green Earth. Since we are 5-2 now, will Pete and John make a go for it move? Feels like they have to. I mean, they don't have to, but I really would try to find something a little better than Frank Clark. And I mean, I think we saw how important Nwosu really is. Like, I watched this game today, and it really looked like without Nwosu, we can't stop the run nearly as well, and we can't rush the passer nearly as well. There were some plays where there was no rush on PJ Walker. I know the Browns have a pretty good offensive line and all that, but I gotta say, I was looking at the pass rush today and thinking this is an opportunity to really go rattle a really lackluster quarterback, and the only guy who brought it consistently was Mafe. There was some good stuff on blitzes like Brooks, I guess, but I thought the pass rush could have had a much better day than they did. Hey, Big Patty Daddy. Washington fans are saying Chase doesn't play that hard. Well, he's playing hard right now. He needs that contract. He's in a contract year. He's definitely going to play hard. You just can't extend him. Watching our offense is like pulling teeth, I swear. I mean, sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. And I get it, right? It should be pulling teeth sometimes against the Cleveland Browns. The Browns probably have the best defense in the league. But it's just very weird that we start the game on fire like that. Start the game on absolute fire. And then we go dead for 6 straight possessions or 7 straight possessions, basically. And then we win the game. We need to pay Brooks now before he gets even better. I don't think we can afford to. I really don't think we can afford paying Brooks. I don't see it. I could see us keeping Wagner around for another year. I just don't think there's the money for Brooks. Empower Code, thank you for the $5. Shout out to Russ, by the way. Happy for him. Screw the Chiefs. I'll tell you, though, that's going to be a problem. All these teams are winning, and the Cardinals keep losing. The Cardinals are going to get the Caleb pick. They may not be able to take him because he refuses to play, but they're going to at least take him and trade him. So I'll tell you what, that Cardinals team, they're going to get a big boost on their rebuild. I'm not happy about it. Loki wished we took the flyer on Levis in the second round when he had the chance. I'm a huge Levis fan, but he wasn't there for us in the second round. He was gone, I think, pick 34, and we picked 37. We could not have taken Levis unless we used the first rounder on him. Thoughts on Josh Uche? What do you think we can trade for him? We cannot trade anything more than a third-round pick. We cannot go second-round pick. It's too much for a guy we're only going to keep for half a season. Michael Penix is a Seahawk? No. I think he's going to go too high. Just listen to an NFL post-slate podcast that claims Geno has completely resorted to the old Geno. I think some people are so quick to jump ship. I thought he played a solid game today. I think he played okay. He played okay. A lot of mistakes, but also a lot of really good things as well. Like, look around the NFL, guys. Look at what Mahomes did today. Look at how awful Mahomes was today. Look at how bad Purdy was today. Like, there's not a lot of consistently great quarterbacks right now. Even the best quarterbacks in the league are inconsistent. I told everyone on this channel in preseason Mafe would have 12 plus sacks this year, and I'm on point. He's getting there. He's getting there. I feel like he's going to do it, especially now because he doesn't have to compete with Nwosu for sacks. Geno has almost as many turnovers as he does touchdowns this year. He's a bigger issue than Waldron. Well, I think context matters there. First of all, the fact that we have 7 rushing touchdowns so far this year. That's part of the reason why Geno's touchdowns are low. And who cares? If we get down to the goal line and we run the ball in versus throwing it in, like, what difference does that make? That's how I look at it. Look how bad Tommy DeVito... Well, I mean, Tommy DeVito's different, right? Tommy DeVito is not a real NFL player. But look at how bad Josh Allen has been a couple times this year. Look at how... Like there's not a lot of consistency in the NFL. Purdy has had over 400 yards of offense. You can't knock that, by the way. I'm not a Purdy fan. I mean, he did some good stuff, but he also did bad stuff. Like the 2 interceptions are awful. And may have cost his team the game. So right now with these quarterbacks, you really got to take the good with the bad. Brendan, you got to screw one, kill one, marry one. McDaniel, Reed, Pete Carroll, go. Okay. Okay. Before anyone kills Geno against a top defense, just remember KC and Mahomes only scored 9 points today against the defense that was ranked 32nd in the league. Geno's interception where the DB undercut Metcalf wasn't all Geno's fault. Metcalf can't cut. He circled and telegraphed the pattern. Yeah, and also he thought he had a free play, and he should have had a free play. I know it doesn't really change the throw. Like, he still made a bad throw, an ill-advised throw. But at the same time, like, that is a very obvious offsides call on Cleveland, and the refs just ate their whistle. Hold on, Austin. Oh, here we go. I see it now. Austin, thank you for the member message. Member for 35 months. Glad to get the W in throwback uniforms. Yeah, that would have really, really hurt if we couldn't get the win in the throwbacks. Seattle Big Patty Daddy, thank you for the $2. Was Purdy really that bad? Was watching us. There was some good stuff, but he also had the 2 turnovers, and the Niners only scored 17 points, so he didn't play good. Maybe he didn't play bad. That's kind of the point right now. With these quarterbacks, you really just got to take the good with the bad. We're not getting a lot of quarterbacks who are just playing clean, perfect games. Us losing that Bengals game is very bad in hindsight. Niners lost 3 in a row, and we could really use that extra win right now. Yeah, but the Bengals are a good team, as we're learning. Like, the Bengals are just good. They just got off to a bad start, so it is what it is. I don't think we can really look at it like that. Like, it's too bad we couldn't get that win, but I mean, as much as we maybe should have beaten the Bengals, we maybe should have lost to the Browns. So you got to believe these things even out over time.
It is Lilstyx who gets there.
Stephen A. Simmons, thank you for the $10. If Geno and DK were anywhere near the same page today, we would be saying that he was legendary out there. They are just lacking chemistry somehow right now. I don't even think it's chemistry. When Geno throws it to DK, it's like the ball gets stuck in his hand or it slips out of his hand. Okay, Butcher's Nook. No. You're out. You're out of here. And if I see that again, you're really out of here. Can't believe people think that behavior is acceptable. Young and a 5th to Seattle for a 2nd. Maybe. If I have to do it, I guess. But you cannot extend him, so giving up even that 2nd round pick is so uncomfortable. But anyway, yeah, I don't think it's DK's fault today. I think that it's just Geno missing his throws to DK and not missing them to anyone else. Like, remember the play where the ball came out of his hand funny? There was another play where the ball, like that kind of goes beyond. Oh, boy. Thank you. I definitely think we need to get 2 out of our next 3 before we get to our brutal 4-game stretch. Baltimore next week will be tough, but Washington and the Rams are very winnable, especially if Washington blows it up, which is possible. What do you think is causing Geno to overthink after he has some success? I think not having his starting offensive line out there is starting to rattle him a little bit. He's like in a hurry because he's afraid that like the pressure's about to be here because I don't have Abe Lucas. Is it worth trading future picks for a QB with our roster right now? What? Okay. If JS thinks this is a Super Bowl, you may have to overpay for Young. That's why I'm willing to trade the second. Yeah, you are betting a lot on this team going to a Super Bowl if you trade for Young or Sweat. But, I mean, if they did it, I would be excited, of course. I would just be very aware of the downside. Geno is shaking my confidence in him, although some of it is not his fault, like JSN stopping on his routes. I mean, at the end of the day, he scored 24 points and had a game-winning touchdown drive against the number 1 defense. So how bad can it be, right? Did you see Geno almost throw another pick in the red zone during the game-winning drive? What, are you talking about the one to Metcalf? That wasn't almost a pick. He didn't get it up high enough for it to be completed, but that was just like, it was kind of like the play against the Giants where Metcalf caught the touchdown. It's just Denzel Ward is better than whatever Giants cornerback he did that on. Huge Hawks fans, giant win, back-to-back weeks with 2 rookie receivers getting touchdowns, defense getting better and healthy. Going to be a scary year. Huge fan. Thanks for all the Hawks coverage. Thank you, Nate. I appreciate that. But I don't know. I mean, the defense was definitely better the last 3 games than it was in this game. Still not bad, but some stuff to work on. What app do you use for editing? You mean video editing? I use, hold on. What's it called? Move AVI Video Suite. It's not very good, but it does exactly what I need it to. You can probably find a better program, but I found one that serves my purpose. If Ward was aware of that ball, he picks it. Well, that's why you throw it, though. He has his back turned. Sometimes you have to anticipate things in the NFL when you're throwing it. So I'm more mad about the fact that he didn't get the ball up high enough for Metcalf to catch it, not the decision. I think it's just a bad throw. I'm happy we got the W, but I just don't feel good about our offense. The offense was bad in the Giants game as well, so that's 4 games in a row they've been bad. The offense today was not bad. If you think the offense today was bad, then I'm sorry, but you're being a Luddite or something. You're expecting the team to score every time they get the ball, which is not going to happen right now. Like, the offense was not bad today. In fact, honestly, the offense was probably above average. This is the best defense in the league, Cleveland. Like, the stuff they've been doing in most of their games this year is historic. I think they were allowing an average of like 120 passing yards a game at one point. No, not Spider-Man tonight. I'm doing a horror game. I'm probably doing Choo Choo Charles. And then the next 2 days, I'm going to do like Poppy Playtime Part 2 and maybe something like the SpongeBob horror games that people keep putting on itch.io. Okay, Jason, that's one game. Cleveland allowed 38 to Indy. They are not that good. That's one game. Did you watch that game? There are a lot of reasons why they allowed 38, not all just on the defense. There was a point where when you go in live on Twitch, probably around like 9:15 or something. What did you think about Spoon's game besides the penalty? Spoon was fine. He didn't do anything over the top great. He didn't do anything bad. He just was there, grinding. Thoughts on Bobo? He did some stuff today, not a lot. He did fine. Not a lot to say about it. He was just there. I mean, the sad reality is a lot of the time, NFL players have games where they're just fine. It's not really good, it's not bad, it's not awful. They're just fine. And I like that. I like embracing that fact. I like just understanding that not everybody is going to be great or awful every game. Should have ran the ball a lot more. I am a little bit confused. I know the running game wasn't great, and I know Cleveland has an amazing run defense, but that was interesting how much we passed. We passed the ball way too much. Michigan's better than Ohio State this year. Spoon's definitely better than Woolen Doodle Bob. It's not even close. Witherspoon, his tackling, his hits, Woolen isn't even close to that. Even if you want to say it's close in terms of like coverage. Next week is a pretty tough one to win. Not sure how they will stop Baltimore's running game. Yeah, that's a game where you really wish you had Nwosu, man. That's a game where you really wish you had Nwosu and you're worried about the run defense. The good news is, it seems like every Baltimore wide receiver gets hurt. Like, I think Odell got hurt today. Somebody on the Ravens at the wide receiver position got hurt today. If anybody knows who it is, let me know. That was a weird game today. You feeling any different after sitting on it a bit? No, not really. I'm still, like, conflicted. It's tough to talk about. It's like, it's good to win. There was some stuff that was good, some stuff that was bad, some stuff that was really annoying. It was more than anything an annoying game, I think. Was it Zay Flowers? Oh, shit. Bad snap. Flag down. Herbert, you must throw it. Throw it. It was Odell. Wow. Odell. Man, the Browns keep jumping off sides. Who do you think is having the better rookie year, Tariq or Spoon? I think it's pretty easily Spoon. Spoon is adding elite run defense and elite tackling on top of what he's doing in coverage. Pete said in his presser that dialing back the run after the first few drives was on purpose and intentional because of the pass pro was going okay. Yeah, I can kind of get that, but you got to settle it down a little bit and understand that Geno right now is a little bit shaky. There's some balls that are just coming out weird, and you need to balance the offense a little bit, even if it's not super productive. Thoughts of the Niners losing 3 in a row? I mean, it's looking like it's really starting to look like the Niners messed up by trading Trae Young. Like, sometimes you don't even run the ball trying to get a lot of yards. You do sometimes run the ball just to kind of balance things out a little bit. Normally, I hate doing that, but right now, that's what Geno needs. Why did I say Trae Young? I meant Trey Lance. Whatever. What do you think of Jamal's header? Good play or just lucky? Well, of course, it's lucky that it bounces off his head and lands in Love's hands, but it's a good play regardless. Obviously, it's not like he was trying to head it to Love. I'm not, I'm not stupid. This isn't soccer. Dennis Gardeck is a trade option. I don't think the Cardinals would trade him within their own division. It's not like they would get back that much. Trey Lance is a nobody, end of story, highly overrated. At least he has talent, though. Brock Purdy, like, I'm sorry, I still don't see it with him. I know he's not a bad quarterback, but oof. Trey Lance has so much more potential. Do you think Seattle can end up winning the division? Sure. I think it really depends on injuries with the Niners. Like, are they going to get Trent Williams back? This was a super physical and playoff intensity game. We played like flat out warriors. I'm highly impressed. I mean, we overcame the refs. We would have won this game easily if the officials called anywhere close to a fair game. So how upset can you be with the result, right? No problem, Butcher's Nook. Just don't do it again, please. The Bear... Oh, okay, that's on the Chargers. Yeah, Carl Lawson might just be the option. Like, you can probably get him for like a 6th round pick. And I think he'll be stable. I think he'll be better than Frank Clark. Man. So they showed a clip of Brock Purdy in the game where he's grabbing his head after hitting the turf hard. And they're saying on Twitter that he probably felt the effects of the concussion and should have been pulled at that point. What is wrong with Shanahan, by the way? Is he trying to get his players killed? The Broncos haven't won 3 straight. They've won 2 in a row. It's not 3, right? I just think Purdy has a low ceiling. I think he's slightly better than Garoppolo, and that's about it. Yeah, 3 of the last 4. There we go. Yeah, Lawson's not that Lawson's not that old or anything. He might not fit the defense. Might be a 4-3 guy, but for a 6th round pick, it's worth it to find out. How do you think this week shaped up? Pretty good, Butcher. Pretty good. I would have preferred that the Texans won. They lost on another freaking walk-off field goal, two games this year. But the whole division lost. Lawson for 6 rounds. He's not playing for the Jets. We may as well get him, and the Jets may as well give him away. The 49ers are only the 3rd team in the last 20 years to lose 3 games in a row where they were favorites of at least 4 points. Field goal is good. No, they still could hit further rock bottom. The Jaguars are good. Franklin Urban, don't give me an attitude. Jeebus. I think Geno needs to play a little better. I'm sure that he will. I'm not too worried about it overall, but it is starting to get annoying. The turnovers, like I said before this game, the only way we can lose is turnovers. And if not for the turnovers, I mean, this game's a blowout. Are we going to win a playoff game, Super Bowl appearance? It's way too early for me to comment on that. Yeah, the Jaguars are really good. They could absolutely beat the Niners, especially if the Niners don't get some of their players back. Peters looked okay, just not sure he can play an entire game at his age. I get that, but I really don't like rotating offensive linemen very much. I think you want to build cohesion with your offensive linemen. I don't like this rotation of like, we're going to let Peters play for a drive, and then we're going to let Forsyth play for a drive. Like, I don't understand that. Uh, okay. No, Franklin, I don't feel bad because at that time they were doing a very bad job. Now they're doing a better job. This is actually a very simple concept. Yeah, that's very possible, Austin. Casra Solari, thank you for the member message. Member for 1 month. Is it just me or has K9 just disappeared in the second half a couple times this year? Yeah, I mean, it's partially because we're not giving him the ball. Gordo, we won the game. What are you talking about? Gordo, did you turn the game off with 2 minutes left? We won. What the heck? I mean, I get some terrible takes in this chat sometimes, but people just straight up making up who won and who lost a game? Like, what? Is that how deep you have to dig into your bag to try to find something to say? Jeebus. Are you watching the game on like a severe tape delay? Do the Seahawks need to do a little better on offense? Sure, they need to do a little bit better on both sides of the ball, but not a lot better, and that's why they win this game. They did enough. They did win. Uh, wait a minute. Do you feel like we will beat the Ravens? Not really. It's the run defense is regressing. That's not a good game to have your run defense regress. Your thoughts on O-line stopping Garrett? I thought the O-line played really good in pass protection. I'll say that. I think Charbonnet is better than K9, an unpopular opinion, but I think Zach Charbonnet is always moving forward for positive yardage, while K9 has too many runs for no yards. I mean, K9's got that little bit of Barry Sanders in him. And, you take what, you are going to get some stuff that isn't great. But it's definitely worth it. I do think that Charbonnet needs to be utilized in certain situations more, like short yardage. He's also a better pass catcher than Walker, I think. I don't know if he's better, though. I think K9 brings a little bit more to the table with his speed. Where were the tight ends today? I mean, they were on the field. We just never threw it to them, it felt like. Do you think the defense was underwhelming because they were on the field so much? I mean, they gave up that touchdown drive before the offense started to struggle. And then they allowed the other touchdown drive before the offense started to struggle. Now, that one was created from the refs, but they still gave up those other plays. So I'm not convinced it's all just that. Honestly, the defense did an okay job of holding up when the offense was struggling. What is holding us back from being elite? Third down. Third down. We need to convert on third down. God. I think there's no way we keep Fant, T-Man. We don't have the money for it. Yeah, O-line is connected to third down, of course, so okay. I can get behind that. The penalties are becoming a problem, although some of the penalties today were just complete nonsense. With Kirk Cousins done for the season, is Danielle Hunter an option in the trade market? His contract isn't really tradable. I've looked at it. The Vikings would have to eat so much money, it's not even funny. God. I could be imagining things. I feel like one of my teeth right here is a little bit loose, and I'm worried. Like there's a tooth right here. I feel like it's just a tiny bit loose. I could be imagining things though. Do you think Fant's a solid player? Fant's good, but I think he's going to get paid, and we don't have money. Does it hurt? It does hurt a little bit. I started taking these pills that are supposed to like strengthen your gums. I'm hoping that deals with the problem, so I don't have to worry about doing something major. Yeah, I think that if this team makes the necessary adjustments to start converting a third down, then everything else will fall into shape. Because that will lead to longer drives, offense on the field longer, red zone success. Just get better on third down. Did you hear about that hockey player got his throat slit by a skate? Wasn't that a long time ago that happened? I feel like that happened in like the 80s or 90s. I remember seeing that. But that was a while ago, wasn't it? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the play calling on third down is a little bit out there, but it could just be the offensive line being injured, and today we were playing such a good defense. Oh, it just happened. Okay. Really? I remember it happened a long time ago. Will Witherspoon be the spy for Lamar next week? I don't think so. I think you want him in coverage. Zay Flowers has been playing pretty good so far this year, and I think he's healthy. Come on, Herbert, throw more touchdowns. I need more. I need more. Feed me more, Seymour. Feed me more. Okay. So, assuming things stay as they are, I'm going to have a small lead tomorrow with Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he's going to have Daniel Carlson. So, it would be very surprising if I lost. Any voice impressions? Not really. I told you guys, I don't have them anymore. I used to have them, and then you just lose them at a certain point. I've lost my impressions. Man, say whatever you will about Herbert. He can launch the hell out of that ball. Brooks is going to get paid massively, but I don't think we can afford it. I think we're just going to have to let it go. Like, I know it sucks. I know Brooks has been awesome this year. I don't see how we can afford to keep him. We'd have to probably move off Disley. We'd have to move off maybe Geno, honestly. And even then, it's tough. Yeah, I thought Jamal was good. Jamal did his thing. What about Bobby Wagner? I think we could bring back Bobby because it doesn't seem like he is worried about the bag that much. Like Bobby took $5.5 million this year after making All Pro second team with the Rams last year. He might just be like, I don't care about money. I just want to play. Who's your favorite character in King of the Hill? Oh, it's got to be Dale. I don't know who else it could be. It's got to be Dale. Will he want to retire? I don't think so. If we take a quarterback in this draft, who should we take other than Williams? I still like Joe Milton. I don't care what you people say. Joe Milton is awesome. And he could sit behind Geno for a year and then take over in 2025. I think that would be awesome. What is eating all our cap? Geno, DK, Lockett, to a certain extent, Disley, um, Draymond, Nwosu, Adams, Diggs, Myers, Dixon. I think Penix will go in the first round. McCarthy is perfect fit for us. I just can't do it with McCarthy. I just can't do it with McCarthy. He's too small. It bugs me. I think he's worthy of like a third round pick, but man, there's just something I can't get there with. I watch him play and I try to force myself to like it, and I can't do it. I'm honestly liking Jordan Travis a little bit more. than McCarthy. They're both in the same area for me, but I think Jordan Travis is better off script. Penix is going to go too high, I think. I think Penix is playing so well that he might end up going in like the top 15. I'm starting to think somebody's going to draft him really high. Do you think the outcome of our game would change if Watson was playing? I think it'd be about the same. Watson has not been good this year. Watson doesn't do much for me. Like, honestly, PJ Walker on some of those plays was more accurate than Watson's been this year. Jaden Daniels, he's still really small is the thing. I do like Jaden Daniels, but he's small, and that's going to be a problem. He's the guy that Jalen Carter picked up with one arm. Bo Nix, I'm not a big Bo Nix guy. To me, Bo Nix is kind of like rich man's Taysom Hill. I don't think his accuracy is going to hold up in the NFL. I don't think he's going to be accurate in an NFL offense. I don't think we can trade for Danielle Hunter Sinqui? I don't know how to say that. Sinqui? I don't think we can trade for Danielle Hunter. His contract is not tradable. I like Ewers. I don't love him though. I'm okay with Ewers. Late first, early second. Wouldn't be against it. But I don't know. I'd rather take Joe Milton in the fourth. Reddit, what percentage of your day does this YouTube channel consume? Well, on average, it's probably about 3 or 4 hours. I don't know. A lot of it is passive, though. Like, I'll be doing research for future videos while watching something on TV. Or being, I'll be thinking, I'll be scheduling stuff to post at a certain time while I'm, in a meeting for work. It's not all, like, super intensive, if that makes sense. No, I don't like Justin Fields. Justin Fields is not good. Well, Wes, we did actually do a lot of pushing money out. Not as much as the Niners, but we actually did a decent amount of that this year. We did it with Diggs, we did it with Adams, we did it with Lockett. You work at home? Yeah, pretentious. Thoughts on Cam Rising? I mean, he hasn't played this year, so I don't know what to think of him. Do you still work 40 hours a week? Yeah. In order for us to take the next step, I have to see us beat the 49ers. That's reasonable, especially with how vulnerable the Niners look right now. Brendan, you have one of the top Hawks channels. I appreciate your work. Thank you, Fenner. I appreciate that. DJU in the fourth. DJU's not going to go in the fourth. He's probably like undrafted. He might be a 7th round pick. How many people from your work watch you on YouTube? I have no idea, Carmine. Have you ever been recognized in public? Yeah, Empower. Many times. Quite a bit, actually. Oh, they didn't get it. Come on, Herbert. More touchdowns. What QBs do you want us to draft? I like Milton. I like Ward. There are a couple other guys too. Jaden Daniels in the day 3 would be nice. I don't drink beer. CEO of Drip. Honestly, I don't want a first round QB either. The only 2 quarterbacks in this draft who I feel like are surefire first rounders are Drake May and Caleb, and you're not going to get either guy. there is the possibility of getting Quinn Ewers, and I think he's a fringe first round guy. I wouldn't hate it, but I think you can do better. Who do you think gets Caleb? Probably the Bears. Although if I'm Caleb, I'm not playing for them. If I'm Caleb, I'm telling the Bears to beat it. Spencer Rattler's all right. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about Rattler. I definitely wouldn't use a high pick on him. Panthers could get the #1 pick. Yeah, that's possible. Oh, yeah, I'm all over Brock Bowers if he's there, but he'll never be there. He's way too good. I think Brock Bowers is the best tight end prospect in NFL history. Honestly. I think Brock Bowers is TE1 all time if you're doing like an all time draft. He is the perfect tight end. JS will only draft a QB in the first if he's 100% sold that guy is the guy. Apparently, he does love Quinn Ewers, so don't be shocked. It will not be shocking if we end up with Quinn Ewers. I'm actually thinking he might go too high, though. Is Riley Leonard worth the first or second? I would be okay taking him in the second. I wouldn't mind taking him in the second. I like Riley Leonard a lot. Yeah, guys, remember the Panthers don't have their first round pick this year, actually. So they can't get Caleb. They give Caleb to the they would give Caleb to the Bears. Thoughts on the Vikings roster now that Kirk is out for the season, it looks like? I mean, they might make a couple trades, but it can't be Danielle Hunter. It would have to be somebody like Dean Lowry. 1 second. Robert Henry, thank you for the $4.99. Here's the big win versus Browns, now division leaders over Niners. How does it feel? Go Hawks. Yeah, Robert, I can get behind that. Bottom line, they got the dub. Does Georgia have any top prospects coming out this year? I haven't been keeping up with college football. Brock Bowers. Would you trade DK in the next 2 firsts for Caleb? Ooh. Ooh. I think so. Caleb is that guy. How many Seahawks events do you normally go to? I go to the Seahawkers banquets most years. Yeah, Amadeus Mims. Isn't he on Georgia? Why is Herbert, honestly, I'm not against it, but why is Herbert still in the game? Realistic Seahawks picks this coming draft. I'd keep an eye on Leonard Taylor of Miami. Maybe Jerzan Newton, but he's probably too good. Operation Mass 3, thank you for the $1.99. Do you think we could trade the house for Caleb? No, we won't. We definitely won't. That's not how John Schneider does business. I might be willing to do it because I believe in Caleb, but there's no way John Schneider will do that. Moss Productions, welcome to Basic Membership. Thank you. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the team. Recipe for disaster. What if he gets hurt? Anybody can get hurt, Chris. Any player in the league is capable of getting hurt at any time. You can't make decisions with that as the mentality. Yeah, like the best tight end prospect ever is probably Kyle Pitts, and I think Bowers is better than Pitts. Like Bowers is a full bore tight end. Kyle Pitts is like a hybrid. Considering JS wanted to trade both for Allen and Mahomes, do you really think it's out of the question? Neither of those guys would have cost nearly as much as Allen and Mahomes. As Caleb, I mean. Jersey Mikes or Jimmy Johns? I haven't had Jersey Mikes in so long, I don't even know. You think DK is mad that JSN and Bobo are getting more touches than him? No, I don't think he cares about that stuff. DK is not like Keyshawn Johnson. DK, I think he just wants to win. When we're producing, I think DK is fine. And DK knows that he draws a lot of double teams, which means he's not always going to be getting the ball because the defense is going to do extra stuff to take him away. We might lose all three of our tight ends this offseason, by the way. Come on, Bears, score a touchdown. Make this game interesting. Do you think DK will want to leave after his contract's up? I don't think he'll feel some dire need to. I think he'll be open to it. But if we're willing to pay him, I don't know why it would really be something that he'd desire. Oh, come on. Yeah. I want Cade Stover. Cade Stover's my guy. I want Cade Stover. I would be okay with drafting Cam Ward in the second round. I think that's about right. Yeah, Birdie. By the way, how did Cleveland have 13 guys on the field on that final drive? How do you get 13 men on the field? I can understand 12 happening every now and then. How do you get 13? Was it 14? Chris, I think this class is probably a little bit better because Caleb is generational. Burrow wasn't generational. Like, Burrow's good. You know, on that last drive, did we ever get to third down? Hold on, let me check something here. Yeah, we never got to third down. I mean, it's only a 5-play drive. Can you explain JS's raging hard on for viewers? I'm genuinely curious. I'm guessing he really likes his arm. I think he likes his playmaking ability. Maybe he looks at him a little bit and sees Josh Allen. Apparently, they also like that he's really religious, which means they think that means he's going to be a good leader. And I think that's about it. No, Caleb's fine. Caleb's fine. I'm not worried about Caleb at all because USC's down this year. I guess Eugenio, I thought it was pretty obvious. I'm religious and I don't see how that would help. That's a thing. It's a thing where they think that being spiritual makes you a better leader. Like, the only atheist quarterback I ever saw was Josh Rosen, and he was awful. So maybe there's something there. I don't know. Operation Mass 3, yeah, I do. Intercepted! Man. Hope they don't bench Herbert. They probably should. Yeah, right guy. He was ethnically Jewish, but he was an atheist. Russ is the first person I think of when I think religious. Yeah, I guess that's a thing. I guess that's a thing that these evaluators use sometimes. I'm starting to think Geno Smith is a one-year wonder, Brennan. Why? Because he led a game-winning drive against the number one defense in the league. Somebody's going to have to explain that one to me. Yeah, the first few drives, Geno was on point. It's too bad he did get away from that for a while. I don't know what it is sometimes. But the reality is no quarterback is playing consistently right now except for Tua. Tua is the only consistent quarterback right now. Yeah, that too, Moss. Like all the 3-and-outs are bad, and Geno has a lot to do with that. But like, assuming we get Abe Lucas and Phil Haynes back, how do you expect the offense to play against the Ravens defense? I think it'll be all right, but I don't think we're getting Abe Lucas back. I feel like if we were going to get him back, we would have heard about him practicing by now. Hey, Silver Ace. Man, what the heck is going on in this game right now? This is like a preseason game, feels like. You guys remember Christian Ponder? So maybe it doesn't always work. Russ leads the league in sacks taken that are his fault, according to PFF, so I don't know about that. He's doing a better job at not turning the ball over. More than anything, I think. He hasn't turned the ball over very much lately. I did have a weird feeling today about the Broncos. And by the way, the NFL should be required to tell everybody that Mahomes is sick. Any trades you think we realistically make? It sounds like the Carl Lawson thing really might happen. Nice throw by Herbert. You know, Denver's not going to make trades now. Denver's 3-5. They might be like, hey, we could make a run. How do you expect us to contain Lamar? I kind of don't. I think Sean Payton will revert Russ back into old school Russ with lots of running and Russ managing the game. Well, can they do that, though? They don't really have the great team for it. Their running backs are not all that. Like, today, they only did it because their defense played incredibly well. Like, the Denver defense was out of their minds in this one. Lester Cross, thank you for the $2. Broncos beat Chiefs for first time in how many games? 16. It was 16, I think. They had won 16 in a row. What do you think we are going to do with the people that came off IR? I'm not sure. Like, what does McIntosh do on this team right now? I don't know. Like, it's hard to figure that out. Like, if you activate McIntosh, who are you deactivating that McIntosh is going to do more than? Yes, it's Hoof. That is how it works. You are correct. That is how it works. All right, Chargers going for it. You better get it. You better get this. You better get this. I think he got it. Do you think the yards given up on screens were because of not having Nwosu? Not directly. I think it was more like the yards we gave up on screens were because we blitzed. Oh, god dang it. A Silver Ace, if you do that, I feel like K9 doesn't get the ball enough. And you need K9 to get the ball a lot. He's too good. You can't just have him getting like 8 touches a game. DeForest Buckner? I don't think so. I don't think the Colts are necessarily thinking their season's over anyway. Like, the Colts are not that bad. I don't think they're bad enough to think we got to blow it up. Yeah, hopefully we can finish them off in a couple weeks, the Rams. Brendan, thoughts on the Titans? I mean, at least they're finally seeing what they have with these young quarterbacks. I appreciate that. Took them a while. Took them way too long. Man. So, I just saw a clip of the guy who died from the skate to the neck. That guy should be executed. Like, I'm not even kidding. That was intentional. That was Bruce Bowen. You think they'll still trade Henry? Apparently, they can't find takers for him. I think that's already off the table. Jalen Carter's having an MRI? Really? It was overseas? But that looks intentional to me. That looks like Bruce Bowen doing the karate kick. Like, that guy should be in prison. Think about drafting a QB in the first 2 rounds. You better be willing to start them or pass on drafting one. That is like conventional wisdom right now. I do wonder if it's a mistake, though. Like, I mean, granted, the quarterbacks that I want to draft, I think you could get in the third or fourth round, like Joe Milton. And you definitely wouldn't start him from day one. Hendon Hooker's not starting from day one in Detroit. Well, tomorrow's game is probably going to suck, too. You see the drop pick by Woolen? He's got the yips this year? Yeah. I don't know what to say about that one. I guess it didn't matter because it was more or less a garbage. It would have been a garbage pick, but that is weird. How do you think we'll finish record-wise given our schedule coming up looks rough? I think they get to like 11 wins or something. Well, there's holding on every play, DRXB. That's the thing. There's holding on every play in the NFL. So I never really take people who complain about that all that seriously. Do we want the Cowboys to beat the Eagles next week for the top seed in the NFC? I don't know. That's going to be a tough one. I'm going to have to think about that one. Because I guess at this point, the Cowboys are going to make the playoffs. So we may as well have them push the Eagles down, but I don't even know if that's true. You think Vikings going to be in tank mode now that Kirk is gone? I mean, I don't know if they're tanking. I do think they're going to lose a lot of games. So if that counts as tanking, then I guess, yeah. Come on, Bears. Scored touchdown here so Herbert can't get benched. I don't know if it's realistic for the Hawks to get the 1 seed. It's probably not Green Earth, but you still have to try. Niners looked whatever. Niners looked like whatever. That's the best way I can put it. Cole Kmet's actually pretty good, isn't he? I was wondering about that guy, but it seems like he's actually pretty solid. By the way, we are 5 likes away from 100. We are almost there. Taylor did make that one play setting the edge against Goodwin. He had the sack on the last drive, too. It's not all bad with Taylor. Don't get me wrong. Mafe has more sacks than Nick Bosa. A lot of players have more sacks than Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa's not playing that well this year. Yeah, Marcus, I finally saw the clip, and it looks intentional to me. I don't know how it's not intentional. Oh, almost going the other way. I mean, Bosa's not bad. Bosa's still playing well. He's just not playing as dominant as people have become accustomed to. What number is DJ Moore? Number 2? Is he? Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. 4th down. Intercepted. Return it to the 1 so Herbert can QB sneak it. They probably pull Herbert at this point, don't they? He's already playing with a broken finger. Do you think we can beat the Niners twice? No, probably not. I think their run game is going to give us problems. Although, it is worth pointing out that the way they're using McCaffrey, he's not going to be alive in a couple of weeks. Let me check something here real quick, by the way. Okay, McCaffrey had 18 touches. That's actually not that bad. Yeah, McCaffrey had 18 touches in this game. That's not the worst. It is weird how often they give him the ball. Everybody. If Carson Beck declared, would you take him in the 3rd? No, definitely not. I wouldn't take him until the 8th. Do we know why Carl Lawson never plays? Who's ahead of him on the depth chart? Let me check here because he played a lot last year and was pretty good. John Franklin Myers, Jermaine Johnson, Bryce Huff, Will McDonald. So a couple of those guys are 1st-round picks. That's probably why. I don't know about John Franklin Myers, though. It is a little bit weird that he's ahead of Carl Lawson. That game was probably very much similar to Huskies. Probably way too close than it should have been, but the Browns are a better team, of course. Yeah, it's completely different. The Huskies game was inexcusable. This was just like 2 good teams, but the Hawks did a few things to make it harder for them. But it's good enough, you know? Okay, only a little bit left in this awful game. By the way, the stream will be ending when the game's over, and then I'm gonna go do some stuff and eventually start streaming on Twitch. Tonight I think is gonna be Choo Choo Charles because some people have wanted me to play that one, and it's horror week. And then tomorrow I might do Poppy Playtime Part 2, and then Thanksgiving I might do a bunch of SpongeBob horror games because there are like 3 or 4 of them on itch.io. Hopefully they actually work with the stream. We'll figure it out. Herbert's still in the game. Wow, I'm surprised. I thought they'd pull him for sure once this game was in the bag. I still don't think we have played a complete game yet where we've had our offense and defense firing on all cylinders all game. Oh, we haven't. We definitely haven't. That should excite people. That should excite people, but at the same time, it's got to happen eventually. New Mario is fire. I did hear it's good, but I'm not super into 2D Mario. I like 3D Mario more. Speaking of horror games, did you see the Five Nights at Freddy's movie? No, I haven't. Honestly, the only Five Nights at Freddy's I played was the first one, and I played a modded version, which replaced the animatronics with Breaking Bad characters. So I don't know if I'm really, like, I don't know if you would consider me, like, a fan of that franchise, you know? It's like, I played a joke version of the game. Do you think we would have won by multiple scores if the PI on Metcalf was called? I don't remember a PI on Metcalf, but if the refs had called a normal game, yeah, we would have won by 2 scores. Yeah, that Jets-Giants game. I was so mad when it went into overtime because I thought it was guaranteed to be a tie because there's no way neither of these offenses are going to score, and then the Jets actually scored. Nice throw by Herbert. I can't believe Herbert's still throwing. Like, it's one thing for him to be in this game, but for him to still be throwing is really surprising to me. He's got a messed up finger. Yeah, the hands to the face on Witherspoon was bad. The PI on Woolen was bad. The no call on Garrett's offside was really bad. Did you hear about Aaron Rodgers possibly coming back if the Jets make the playoffs? That reminds me of Jamal Adams saying the same thing last year. It's probably not going to happen. JSN up to 200 yards receiving. He's pushing his way up there. Flowers and Addison are obviously, I mean, Addison's killing it actually, but JSN's coming into his own. Did you not like Resident? No, I thought Resident Evil 7 was really good. I just already beat it, Jaden Bennett. I already beat Resident Evil 7, so I got to do something else. Another throw by Herbert. And I think the Chargers fumbled. Yeah, Nitro Hawk, but I think that's all anybody can expect. Like, they're not going to make a Five Nights at Freddy's movie for everybody. They're going to make a Five Nights at Freddy's movie for Five Nights at Freddy fans. Well, Jaden, it's a short game. It's like a 10-hour game. Honestly, that's one of the things that disappointed me about Resident Evil 7. I was short. It was shorter than Resident Evil 1 on the PlayStation, like the original. That blew me away. And I didn't like the last 2 hours that much when you're on the boat. I liked it way better when you're in the mansion. What's your schedule looking like for streaming games? I'm doing horror games until Halloween, and then in November, I'm going to start hitting Spider-Man. I'm only going to stream Spider-Man for like a week from the 1st through the 8th. Have you played 8? No, I haven't played 8 yet. I'm actually behind on Resident Evil. And I've got like I got to go through Resident Evil 0. I got to do 2 remake, 3 remake, and 8. Those are like the Resident Evil games I need to get caught up on. Favorite horror game? Probably the Resident Evil 4 remake. Does Resident Evil count as horror? Some people would say it doesn't because it's so cheesy. But strictly speaking, I think it is a horror game. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not like these games ever really scare you that much unless you're a little kid, right? Like, it's like maybe the game makes you go like, ugh, and then that's it. Do you think the Seahawks have considered a plan for a Pete Carroll replacement in the coming years given his age? I think they'll worry about that bridge when they come to it. I don't think they're thinking about it too much right now. Some people say Waldron, but Waldron might leave before then. I don't know. We'll figure that out when it's relevant. I don't think it's very relevant right now. Upo, thank you for the $5. Appreciate your time and effort, Brendan. College wide receivers are so hard to project success levels in the pros. I have noticed that. I really liked Jalen Rager in the draft a few years ago, and it didn't work out. Have you played any of the puppet combo games? Is that like Nun Massacre? I've heard of puppet combo before. But I'm trying to remember. Are they the ones who make like Nun Massacre and the games like that? I have not played them. I know of them. I don't know if I'm going to have time to get to those. What is my favorite video game? Final Fantasy VII. The original. What is up with these stream alerts? The stream alerts are like delayed like crazy for a while now. It like takes 30 seconds for the pop-up. There we go. Harbaugh is going to NFL in 2024. What team takes him? Maybe the Chargers. Ooh. Do the Chargers take Harbaugh? Are there any upcoming potential good movies? I want to see Napoleon. I already saw Killers of the Flower Moon. Only movie left this year that I think is going to be worth seeing in the theater is Napoleon. Never played it. Should I give the series a shot? If you want to, just understand what you're getting into before you get into it. Look into it, see if it's the thing that you would like, and then do it. After Spider-Man week, because I'm basically going to be playing nothing but Spider-Man for a week, maybe I'll beat the game during that time. Maybe I won't. I'm probably going to finish Starfield because I don't want to leave that dangling. How was Flower Moon? Going to see it Wednesday? I really liked it. It's slower than a typical Scorsese movie. I don't think it's edited as well as most of his films. Like, it doesn't... Like, a lot of Scorsese films have this quality about them where the whole movie feels like a trailer because it's just go, 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 go. This isn't like that. This is slow and plotting, and I think it's really good, but I don't think the style pops the way it does in some other of movies that he's made. Like, if you watch Goodfellas, the whole movie feels like a 3-hour trailer because it just goes, goes, goes. The whole thing is just moving very quickly without feeling like a superhero movie or something. But Killers of the Flower Moon feels more like, it's paced more like something like There Will Be Blood, in a way. Yeah, it would be a trade. But I do think there's a good chance we trade for Carl Lawson. I think that's a realistic possibility. I don't know why the Jets would keep him if they're not going to play him. Went to the bathroom twice during Killers of the Flower Moon. Like, just go to the bathroom. It's okay. If you want to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom. It's a life philosophy that I recommend for everybody. Are the Bears going to get a touchdown? No. Yeah, I don't know. Based on what I saw today, Frank Clark might just not have anything left in the tank, but knowing Pete, we'll probably give it a few more weeks to find out for sure. Okay, 4th and 2 for the Bears. Touch? Nah, they got down to the 1. All right. 3 minutes left in this horrible game. And then we still have to watch the Bears 2 more times on national television this year. Why does Justin Herbert have an acne problem? He signed a $250 million contract. Why does he have an acne problem? He could probably afford, like, lasers to, like, literally saw his acne off. Yeah, HK, Frank might not have anything left. Like, it's very realistically possible that Frank Clark is just not got anything left in the tank. Does the Jets losing Al Woods factor in? I mean, maybe, but they don't play the same position. They don't have the same role. They don't do the same thing. Admittedly, Justin Fields is fun to watch. Maybe that's why they keep putting the Bears in prime time. Okay, that has to be a touchdown, right? Come on. That's a touchdown. Let him have his... Yeah, thank you. Frank Clark isn't that old. Oh, I know, Jaden, but when you're washed, you're washed. If a player is washed, like, age is just a number. Like, Russell Wilson is washed, and he's not nearly as old as Rodgers or Breeze was when they were even broaching the conversation of being washed. We see running backs get washed at like 28. Like, at the end of the day, when you're washed, you're washed. Wait, what'd they throw the challenge flag for? Did someone throw the challenge flag and it got ignored? Whatever. Okay, 2 minutes and 12 seconds left. Man, Tommy DeVito looks like a prick. Just look at his face. Somebody go look at Tommy DeVito's face and tell me that guy doesn't look like a jackass. Hey, user error. What's up? What was I going to look at? Oh, yeah. Are the Lakers losing? No. Oh, wow. Tie game. Yeah, we can dump Eskridge. I mean, at this point, maybe you could even dump Dallas if we're not going to use him on kick returns. Like, if you're going to use Eskridge on kick returns, let him do punt returns too, and then just cut Dallas. Like, why have him if you're not going to use him? You got a favorite NBA team? I like the Mavericks, but I'm not super into it. Did the Bears get that? Wow, the Bears actually got an onside return, I think, and it doesn't matter. Oh, no, Chargers got it. I was going to say, you don't want to waste your onside kick recovery in a situation where it doesn't matter. Oh, Tanner Muse is a Charger. Who is JSF? All right. I would rather see Kenny McIntosh than Eskridge. Yeah, there's somebody in this bunch of players that you can let go of, Eskridge or DJ. Do you think Lawson would be standing or down like Mario Edwards? He'd probably be standing. Why is Keenan Allen out there? Herbert's still out there. What in the world? I know they're just going to run the clock out. But Herbert's out there. Why? I think Eskridge has been better than Collier. Honestly. Okay, 2-minute warning. So, videos coming out tomorrow as per usual. You guys know the drill. Thanks everybody for hanging out tonight. It was a game that we played today. We won. A lot of good things happened. A lot of not so good things happened. We got what we got. I think we almost have to acquire an edge because, God forbid, Mafe gets injured. Then what? Well, then you're probably calling on like Tyreek Smith or Levi Bell or something like that. boy. Victor Wembayama is getting his butt kicked. He's losing by 40 to the Clips. DeMar Hamlin's barely playing. He's a special teamer. Chargers just trying to run this here clock out. Yeah, DeMar Hamlin's a pure special teamer. Favorite burger place in Washington area? Probably Red Robin. That is pretty corny, Nitro Hawk, but I guess it's true. Come on, Chargers. Go for it on 4th down for no reason. Do it. Do it. You love going for it on 4th down, don't you? All right. Well, it looks like I'm officially up by 0.3 points with Amon-Ra left, and he has Daniel Carlson. It would be very, very disappointing for me to lose. They still have bottomless French fries at Red Robin. Not that I can usually eat that many because the burger is pretty big. Would we pick up Lawson's contract? Most of it, but we can afford that if we need to. Yeah, Austin, I kind of feel like something needs to happen. Like, that was very obviously intentional, I think, Austin. Okay, 22 seconds left. Presumably, we've got 1 play remaining, and then it's GG. I think St. Brown's going to play. If he doesn't, I'm going to be pissed off. How will we be able to afford all our rookies 2 to 3 years from now? We won't. We're going to lose some. It is what it is. That's how the NFL works. All right, guys, that's your kneel down, and that'll be the game. Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. If you haven't already, please like the stream on your way out, and we will do this again in the near future. Seahawks are 5-2 and 1st place in the NFC West and 2nd place in the NFC. See you guys in a little bit on Twitch, maybe.